So one of my favorite video game series of all time is Kid Icarus because I had a lot of fun with Kid Icarus all those years ago when I played Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS back in 2012. I still remember pre-ordering that game, going to GameStop and playing it, getting a little stand to, play the game and everything. And I just really wish there was more Kid Icarus because I believe if Nintendo actually took their other IPs seriously, they could probably go somewhere with other franchises outside of the ones that they're pushing. And I understand why they push the series that they do, because obviously it makes them a lot of money and a lot of people care about them, including me myself. But I also want to see other franchises that they have under their belt get some sort of attention, like maybe have them eat a little bit so they can have a new game come out like every so often instead of just waiting like a decade or so before their next installment. And that's basically what I want to talk about here today when it comes to Kid Icarus, when it comes to where I could potentially see the series going if Nintendo ever did take it down the direction that I want it to. Do I expect them to do that? I don't know. I don't know what sort of plans Nintendo has in the future, but this is just coming from how I would envision it if it were to actually go down that direction. One of the biggest things that stands out to me when it comes to Kid Icarus is the fact that the entire series is centered around mythology, specifically Greek mythology. And you could see that in pretty much everything from the characters to the environments to the kind of enemies that you run into throughout the games. And that alone already gives the series a really strong foundation to build on. But at the same time, I feel like there's also where a lot of the untapped potential comes in, because when you really think about it, there's so many different mythologies out there that you could explore, and I feel like Kid Icarus could easily take advantage of that if Nintendo really wanted to go down that direction, because you wouldn't just be stuck in one setting the entire time. Like, imagine Pit traveling through different mythologies, running into different gods, different creatures, and just experiencing completely new environments that are based on different cultures and stories. And I feel like that alone would take the series to another level, because now you're not just expanding the gameplay, you're expanding the entire world that the series takes place in. And that's why I brought up God of War as an example, not because I want Kid Icarus to become something super violent or anything like that, but more so because of how that series explores different mythologies and builds entire stories around them. And I feel like Kid Icarus could do something similar in its own way while still staying true to what makes it unique. And I feel like it's also important to mention how the series has even stayed relevant over the years, because if we're being real here, Super Smash Bros. Played a huge role in keeping Kid Icarus in the spotlight, especially when it comes to introducing Pit to a whole new audience that probably never played the original games. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people out there who knew Pit strictly because of Smash, and that's not a bad thing at all. If anything, that just shows how important Smash is when it comes to bringing attention to different Nintendo characters and series that might not always be on the forefront. But at the same time, you also have to give a lot of credit to Kid Icarus Uprising itself, because that game didn't just bring the series back, it actually gave it a real identity for a modern audience, and it showed that Kid Icarus could still work in today's gaming landscape if it was given the chance. And that's really what makes everything even more confusing, because it's not like the series failed or anything like that. Uprising did well, brought in new fans, and showed that there's still interest in Kid Icarus. So when you look at it like that, it just makes you wonder why we haven't seen anything new since then. Because that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. We haven't gotten a new Kid Icarus game since 2012, and that's over a decade at this point, which is honestly kind of wild when we really sit down and think about it, especially for a series that has as much potential as this one does. And I get it, Nintendo has their priorities, they have their biggest franchise that they put focus on, and that's always going to be the case. But at the same time, it just feels like every once in a while it wouldn't hurt to pay some attention on other IPs that they have, especially ones that already proved that they can work. Because Kid Icarus isn't some random series that nobody cares about. It already has a fan base, it already has recognition, and it already showed that it can succeed with the right approach. So it's not like they would be taking some huge risk by bringing it back. So for me, it's really just one of those things where I look at Kid Icarus and I just wish Nintendo would do more with it, because there's so much potential there, and it just feels like it's sitting there waiting to be used, and that's really all I wanted to say when it comes to this. Like, I'm just really hoping one day Kid Icarus gets a new game, because like I said, it's been since 2012 since we had our last Kid Icarus installment, and then ever since then, It was the other two games, the one on the original Nintendo, and then of course the one on the Game Boy, which I also went back and played those games as well, and they were a lot of fun. But I'm just hoping sooner or later Kid Icarus comes back, either it's a remaster of Uprising or a completely new game. I'm just hoping we see the series again somehow. I mean, there's rumors about Star Fox getting another game, and it makes a lot of sense given the promotion that's around Star Fox right now. So it's like, if we're bringing series like that back into the picture, I'm not saying they're at the same level, then why not do that with other series like Kid Icarus and several others, if that makes any sense. Well, that's all I have to say here for this video. So if you guys have anything you want to say about this, because I'm pretty sure you do, let me know your thoughts in the comments. We can talk about it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content on the channel. Be sure to follow me on my social media when it comes to my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links are located in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. Also, be sure to check out my Discord server so we can talk more about all the things that we love. It is pinned in the comments for easier access that way. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications. You guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a new video on the channel. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.